We have people all the time that tell us, I'm never going to watch you again because you ran this commercial for X politician, and so I'm never going to watch your television station again. And the truth of the matter is, you know, that's unfortunate for us, but whether you do or you don't, the truth of the matter is we had to run it.
Yeah. Well, it's real money, I suppose, unless the party doesn't get around to cutting you a check for it. That would be interesting.
Well, one thing about political advertising, I can't speak for every station, I can't speak for every company. I can only speak for my own, but I can assure you that the one thing about political advertising is that if you ever see it on our station, we've been paid for it, because the day after a political spot runs, if the candidate doesn't win, guess how long it takes you to get paid?
Oh, probably never.
Roger on that.
Wow.
That's the reason that it's so stressful during these times, Bill, because there's so much at stake.
Well, and I don't know if you get audited by the FCC with regard to these kinds of things or not, but you better play it straight.
Well, we absolutely do. We absolutely get, as a matter of fact now, and again, something that the general public doesn't necessarily know, at one time you had to show who was doing what, or who was advertising what on your television station, what programming they were using, how much they were paying for spots and all that good stuff. But you'd actually have to go to the television station in order to find that out. Now you don't. Now you can go online to the FCC, and all that information is right there about every single political spot that runs on every single television station. And the interesting thing about that is that for ages, ever since I've been in the business, which is over 35 years, one of the things that strikes fear in the hearts of anybody that sells commercials is being accused of collusion. And when the FCC came up with that brilliant rule, guess what they did? They just showed everybody else's rates. So guess what I do if my rate isn't as high as somebody else's?
Well, you'd have to raise it.
Roger, roger. And that was the whole reason why the collusion rules were in place. And if you think the FCC is not enough, there are watchdog groups out there for all sorts of organizations who are just waiting for us to make a mistake.
I would think that the National Association of Broadcasters would get together, and you probably do, and say, okay, we're going to charge this rate, and let's just keep it all the same. But then you can't, because you've got different markets, and some are bigger markets, and some are smaller markets, and oh boy, what a mess.
Well, if you ever found guilty of that, your wardrobe changes to pinstripes.
Yeah. Okay, that's price fixing. Okay.
That's a roger. You absolutely cannot talk to anybody else about what you're doing to your rates. But I can look at them now and make my own decision.
Well, I assume that if you charge the Democrats a certain rate, you have to charge the Republicans the same per minute, per unit. Or
actually, here's another kick in the teeth. For federal candidates, they passed a bill, oh my God, eons ago now, I don't remember exactly when, that we had to sell our advertising to them at the lowest unit rate on the station, which means that if we have other advertisers who want to advertise, and here's something else why people wonder why all they see are political spots on some stations during certain periods of time. We have to take the spots, number one. And number two, if we have higher paying advertisers in there, and they want the inventory, we have to kick them out and give them the lowest unit rate. How about them apples?
Oh, wow. When they buy, well, when they buy time with you, can they stipulate when it's run, or can you pick the time?
No, when they purchase it, they have a reasonable expectation of when it's going to run. And we sell it to them and price it to them based on when it's going to run. And depending on how they buy it, depends on whether or not it's actually going to run in a really highly volatile time. Meaning that typically what happens in a lot of stations is even though, first of all, you've got to give equal access to keep candidates in the same race. So basically, I think what most of us do to play it safe is we make sure that we give candidates in the same race the same kinds of rates, so you don't run into that kind of problem.
Oh, I hope so. This ID time, SW8M8.
In for ASA, and you know what? I bet I'm boring the crap out of everybody, so I'm going to shut up.
Kilo, Charlie 8 Bravo, Romeo, and a Tango.
PD 2FQA. No, you're not, Dave. I find it very interesting.
WD987U.
Well, got another question for you, a little bit off not really off the subject. What gripes the heck out of me is you could be watching a program and a local spot will come on, and I'll be damned if they'll repeat the damn thing immediately after they run it. You know, like a car salesman or something. They'll run their spot, and then the station will run it again immediately after. What the hell's the point in that?
Well, there have been studies that have shown that if you repeat the same message within a specific amount of time, that the retention value is much higher. So what happens typically when you see something like that happen, the typical spot that we sell is 30 seconds long. However, in the situation, we call them donuts. And what happens in a spot like that, typically it's a 15-second spot at the beginning of a commercial pod or somewhere within, and then a 15-second spot at the other end. Most times they're the same spot. It's just trying to increase the impact of their spot.
Well, it's irritating when they run it and then immediately run it right after itself again. I think, come on, I saw it once. I don't want to see it again. But they gripe the hell out of me to start with, and I know it's income and all that, and you have to do it. But, man, to run it twice, I'm thinking, somebody programmed something wrong, but apparently not. Boy, it's just irritating.
No, I get it. I certainly get it. But once somebody finds out that, oh my goodness, maybe a handful of people retained my commercial more by doing it this way, then look out, you're going to see more of it, not less of it.
Oh, I'm sure that's true. Wow. Yeah. What an industry. And to think that I wanted to get into broadcasting when I graduated from high school, I really did. God, I wanted in it bad.
Well, I will tell you this. No matter what I say about political, it happens on a schedule. Everybody knows when it happens. But don't let anything that I said tonight cloud the advertising profession, because I absolutely have loved it for 35 plus years. That's one of the reasons I won't retire. I really dig what I do.
That's hard to beat when you've got a vocation that you enjoy doing. Not everybody's got that opportunity. That's great. Well, as long as it allows for some free time and doesn't drive you nuts and you can sleep at night, what the heck?
Well, I look at it this way, Bill. When I retire, I'm hoping that I'm going to have a long time to be retired, but when I hand over the keys, at my age, when I hand over the keys, I'd better damn well know I'm ready to hand over the keys, because it ain't no coming back.
Well, yeah, I imagine that's right.
Don't get me wrong, it ain't always fun, but to me, for whatever reasons, maybe I'm just a sadist or something, I don't know, but to me, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than it is something I feel like I'm just right this moment ready to walk away from.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. One other quick question: when you do spots, does your station actually produce a lot of them, or do you, say for instance, the car dealer already have one made by somebody else and you just run it, or what's the deal?
It really depends on the market and how large the market is. In smaller markets, say markets, and this could vary, but say market size 50 plus, in 50 and larger, in those, 50 and smaller, in those markets, typically the car dealers' ads are, well, it's hard to say for sure, but a lot of times they are produced locally. But when you're looking at markets 50 and larger, typically they use advertising agencies to get the message out.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know how we got stuck on this, but I can't imagine it being that interesting to anybody.
Well, it's because we don't do it and we don't know anything about it. I am interested in it. I thank you for imparting your knowledge.
Oh my goodness. Hey, listen, not a problem at all. It's, I don't actually I rarely get a chance to talk about things like this unless, not in this way, unless I'm talking to a group of students or something. But, anyway, I guess, here's the interesting thing. I'll say this and then I'm done with it. When I've, in the past, when I've spoken to, a lot of universities will call us over and have us speak to classes and such, and typically what happens is you get a group of, I've had as many as 100, 200, 300 people in a room, and most of them who are interested in broadcast, they're all interested in being on-air celebrities. Out of that group of 300, you may get 3 who are interested in what I do.
Wow. Now, I can imagine that's true. Somebody's got to sell airtime.
Well, that's true. Somebody's got to pay the bills.
I don't know if we went over 10 or not. W8MA.
N4ASA.
SWSPY.
WB9HRU. Yeah, I found all that stuff pretty interesting, Dave. Many years ago, I was working for one of the local TV stations around here, and so some of what you said kind of rings a bell. And that business about the donuts, they're doing that around here all the time. Although they're doing 30s at the beginning and 30s at the end, which is, fine. They, spend their money however they want to do it. So, but yeah, I found most of what you said very interesting. I'm going to pull a plug, gentlemen. 7-3 to all. Getting a little bit late. Very enjoyable time for me tonight. I'm glad everybody was here. So the girls are playing that. This WB9HRU 7-3.
Hey, Dave, before you go, I need to correct one thing. It just dawned on me that I said something about donuts when I was talking about bookends. Those are called bookends when you see them like that, not donuts. I apologize.
Oh, okay, my mistake. But yeah, I knew what you were talking about, and like I said, I've seen it here frequently.
Have a good one. Nice to chat with you tonight. Take care, old man. 73. This is N4ASA.
WB9HRU.
Good night, David. KC8 Bravo Romeo and a Tango.
Good night, David. Have a good one. 7-3 is WB9HRU, KD2SKY. 7-3.
This has been a splendid evening. Amazing. Got OVC in here and everybody, the whole group. Fantastic and important. heard some great stuff in the N4ASA. And I thank you for it, Dave. What a nice one. But I want to remind the guys that the W5s come on 2 casings higher than us at 10 o'clock, our time. And they don't give a billy hoot whether we're here or not. They'll step on us. So I think maybe we ought to agree to be off of here by 10 o'clock in the future, which we've got about a minute left. And so in that case, I'm going to sign as well and bid everybody, and thanks for everybody being in here tonight. It's fantastic. This is what it's about. The heck with 40 meters. We could give that back to the Indians. Let's see, N4ASA, I don't think you've signed yet. This is W8MH, Mason, Michigan, clear and listening out.
Yes, good night, Bill, and David, everybody else in there. Good night, Bob. 7-3 all the way around, gentlemen. Kilo Charlie 8 Bravo, Romeo and a Tango.
Roger, roger, gentlemen. Have a good one. It's always enjoyable for me to come in, and I did more listening tonight than I did talking because I listened for a while before I jumped in. But always good to hear you because I always learn something. Have a good one, 73, and we'll talk to you later. This is N4ASA off and clear.
Oh, Bill, real quick.
Yeah, make it real quick.
Roger that. I never did if I had this tuned up all right. Signal all right tonight?
Yeah, it's fine. It looks great.
Okay, roger that. Catch you next time, guys. KC8 Bravo, Romeo, Tango, clear.
All right, good night, Bill. Good night, David. And good night to you, Marshall, as well. Nice hearing you in here tonight, Marshall. Stop in again sometime soon. And most informative, David. Learned something new tonight. But anyways, 7-3, 1 and all. TD2FKY. We'll talk to you all later. Okay, have a good one.
Yep, good night.
Roger that, Bob. Sorry it took so long. I'll be back soon. KC8 Bravo, Romeo, Tango.